Awesome.
Outstanding.
Collaborative.
Inspiration.
Wow, amazing. Oh, that's not even a word. Can we read this?
These conferences are really designed to do two things: to help you build your knowledge and help you build your networks.
From here, you will return to your home countries and organize community service projects where you will lead, engage, advocate, drive change, and serve.
We, older people, have given you a few gifts. Climate change, pollution, conflict, limited resources. I'm kind of joking, but only kind of, right? It's a complicated world, but this I can tell you, the problems of the 21st century are more complex, more profound than ever before, and it's going to take creativity, innovation, energy, enthusiasm to solve them.
So this is the world that you're going to inherit, and you need to decide whether it's the world you want to inherit. And if it's not, what are you going to do about it?
I don't think I've ever been to an event that would have so many nations in one place. So meeting all these different people, different backgrounds, different countries, different priorities. I think that's been the biggest thing that I'll take away from this.
For me, I think what stands out the most is about seeing how interconnected all the four pillars of YPLP 2019 were, and you know how at certain points in certain situations you get to switch between some of the pillars. So for me, it's about learning how to navigate the change, because in the Pacific things are changing at a very fast pace now. So it's about navigating the change, and in doing that, you know, changing perspective, changing your frame of mind, and just integrating all the four pillars of YPL 2019.
There are so many things that I could list, but I have to say the PIF Forum, the Pacific Island Forum. I am very humbled because I had the opportunity to actually represent and be Ilda Aine. She's our president.
My highlight this time around has been the mock session we did at the Pacific Island Forum on the Wednesday. I think part of the reason why I took such a great, you know, sort of interest in the Pacific Island Forum Secretariat was because you know, my home country Australia is a member of the Pacific Island Forum. You know, the fact that we also got the opportunity to sort of engage in sort of how diplomacy works in the region and that sort of regional, you know, see how regional governments have sort of played out. But also too, you know, I had a bit of fun. I was representing the French Overseas Collectivity of Wallis and Fortuna, and it was just kind of cool to, you know, get involved in that sort of method acting in some ways, and you know, partake in that sort of regional diplomacy.
Writing grants has always been one skill that I've always thought about. You know, how to secure funding for a particular cause, and so there was that, and then going on the VACA, that was so much fun because I've never been on one before in my life, and I've only been on a boat in that sense only once in my life.
Even though I've always known that many of these countries exist and that they're involved in the region, you still may not necessarily have much information or much knowledge of what life is like in those countries, or even just general knowledge about those countries. So it was good to meet people who come from places like that, and it's good to actually get to know some people, understand what life is like, and also trade your experiences of what it's like growing up in your country.
It's made me realize that I have to step out of my comfort zone to really be concise and be clear and be more vocal, because back home I think cultural barriers prevent a lot of the youth from speaking up to really talk about issues that they care about. So what YPL has done is showing me that there are spaces that I can reach out to.
The 4 weeks of the online activities, it got me to think about who I am and who I am as a person of the Pacific. But at the same time, reading the blurbs, I guess, of the other reps, just reading about them, what they wrote about themselves, and that's what sort of prepared me to know who is coming, who is from where. And then I believe it was week 2 or week 3, or the week 3 activities where we had to think about what are some things we have done in our communities. And so those conference activities have prepared me for what to expect here.
When I came onto YPL, I had a focus on one of the pillars, which was environment and resource management. Resource management. I think just kind of putting on the lenses for the other 3 pillars and kind of incorporating that into my work and seeing how related the 4 pillars are and how the other 3 are very much relevant to my work, and also drawing from the examples of the other participants and their work in the other 3 pillars.
Oh well, first of all, it's very inspiring to be here with all the other youths like-minded and passionate. So it kind of motivates me to keep on doing what I'm doing. Now going back, because YPL has this small grants program coming up, it actually motivates me to be more innovative in terms of trying to progress my objective, but at the same time being a little bit more innovative, because the small grants is going to be competitive.
What I hope is that we don't stop here, that we continue with this dialogue. I was just talking to the other participants actually, and lots of ideas are coming through, because we've been talking about the issues that we each face. But the thing is, keep the momentum going and network with each other, trying to support each other vocally through social media, and basically keeping that friendship that we've forged here, but also share this opportunity with youths back home, hopefully for next conference.
I'm excited about going back home, but what I'm sad about is that I'm going to leave all of the friends that I've made here, and just having a blast.
I think the future is it's going to be about networking and relations, not only on just from at the national level, but it's going to be at the regional level. So that's the direction that YPL is heading, and I think that's the future.
I know we came on with the separate 4. I'd like to see more streamlining across the 4 in activities for the participants, kind of relating them. We had them as separate sessions, but I would like to see them kind of more streamline how can you kind of collaborate education with environment and resource management? How do you incorporate, kind of specifically in getting in there and how you can do that?
The biggest thing I see from not even last year's cohort, but even this year's delegates, is that I think everyone just seems to come here with a burning desire to make change in our region. I really do hope to see many of these people here at this forum run for politics or become more involved in NGOs or in bureaucracy. Also in terms of cultural advocacy, get more involved in hoping to use some of the skills they learn here to advocate their own personal leadership. Hopefully we'll see future prime ministers and presidents and even even probably local councillors as part of this delegation in 20 years' time.